Yes, this is probably gonna just be a video of me praising Sabrina Carpenter for 30 minutes. It is what it is. I love my pop girlies. No, it's obviously not sponsored. I freaking wish something like this could be sponsored. Welcome back to the Miscellaneous channel where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. I typically cover TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things on this channel, so subscribe if that's your vibe. Today I wanted to get a little bit into the Christmas spirit. I'm not that much of a Christmas girly. I enjoy the season, kind of a regular amount, but I wanted to chat with y'all about something that got me really in the Christmas spirit this year, and that is Sabrina Carpenter's A Nonsense Christmas Special on Netflix. If you're a Christmas girly into any of the Christmas things, I definitely recommend checking out this Netflix special. I mostly want to talk about how this is a great career move for Sabrina Carpenter and how it fits her branding and her explosive mainstream year that has been 2024. I just think this Christmas special was brilliantly done for modern day, incorporating music, humor, acting, fashion, set design, all coming together to make a very now product with like a very old template, because the Christmas special has been around for ages on television. Also, being a Christmas queen is so lucrative. Like, look at Mariah Carey. Sabrina Carpenter had an opportunity here and she seized it, because I feel like Christmas works well with her brand, and if she wasn't gonna pounce on Christmas, one of her other peers was going to beat her to it. So let me get into this Christmas special. It's actually pretty short and sweet. You see what I did there? So I want to break down the different aspects and why it was all working so well. First, because Sabrina Carpenter is a musician, I want to get into the music of this Christmas special, and it had a really great balance between serious original music of Sabrina Carpenter, as in like taking it seriously. There's still a lot of tongue-in-cheek within the music because that's part of her lyricism, but there are performances by Sabrina Carpenter of her original music. There are performances of classic Christmas songs with a lot of musical guests. And then there's some comedy songs that are just pure comedy, more of it in a sketch way, or something you would see on SNL or Lonely Island, that type of thing. Sabrina's sense of humor is something that, I don't know if it's like underrated or unknown, but I feel like she is just kind of thought of as a pop star, but I think the reason she has become so successful is because she has this very funny sense of humor, and she's very current. And of course, the sexual innuendos have become a huge part of her brand as well, and that is very funny in and of itself. Not gonna lie, I had totally forgotten that Sabrina Carpenter released a Christmas EP last year, and those are the Christmas songs she is performing solo within the special. It's called Fruitcake, and it's like 15 minutes long. It contains 6 songs. Here you can see. Let's share with the class. She was already playing with the idea of Christmas. She seems to love like putting in lyrics to her own songs, like different lyrics, switching it up. So she has like a Christmas version of Nonsense, one of her most popular songs. And so she does Christmas themed performances of those songs throughout the special. It's a really cool way, honestly, to like give each of these songs their moment, give them each like a music video or performance that fans of the EP can have. It's cool that like the songs were already there, so she could work this special around the song. She didn't have to like write some Christmas songs and then also perform them and make the special and do all the things. There were a few new songs, but they were more in the comedy realm. So I want to talk about like the classics. There were a few classic Christmas songs as well, which is of course needed in a Christmas special. People know and love their Christmas songs. For those, she brought in musical guests, and I thought the musical guests had like an amazing variety. A lot of them were more like current kind of hip choices, I would say. Basically peers of Sabrina in the music industry. But she did also bring in one legend performer of the previous generation, and that is Shania Twain. Which, can we side note about Shania Twain's look these days? Because I think she got the Lindsay Lohan, Christina Aguilera special. She looks like 30 years younger. I was in shock when I saw her in this Christmas special. Like, good for her. Whatever new surgeon is in town that all the celebrities are using, they are a magician. Let's just say that. I think Shania Twain is a great choice for Sabrina. A lot of the songs on Short and Sweet are pretty country leaning, which is kind of why I don't like it that much. It's so funny, like, I'm not even a fan of Sabrina's music. I'm so sorry if you clicked on this and thought I was like a stan. I'm so sorry. I don't have that stan card. I don't participate. It's just not my type of music. It's a little bit slow, and like, it kind of feels like Taylor Swift's music and Ariana Grande's music and vibe and everything, voice, had a baby, and that's Sabrina Carpenter's musical output. And I'm not a big fan of those two artists' music. Ariana, a little more. I love like 5 songs of her with all my heart, and I'm obsessed with them, but everything else, I don't resonate. So anyway, I think Shania Twain is a great choice because Sabrina does have a country leaning vibe in some of her songs, like Please Please Please. I feel like her past work was more pop R&B leaning, and now she's leaning more pop country, and I think she kind of fluctuates between there. But I think Shania Twain makes a lot of sense. She also brought out Tyla, who I'm not that familiar aside from the Give Me Water, that song that was super viral. But she's fierce. Like, her outfit was fierce. She was a present. And then she also had Kali Uchis, who had one of the best albums of 2024 that I was so late to. I like checked it out from the library kind of a couple months ago, and I was like, why did no one tell me I would be obsessed with Orquídeas, that album? That's y'all's fault. You didn't tell me. I love her representing the Latinas for us. And they did I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, which is a classic sexy song for the Christmas season. And then we had our guest of honor, and that was Miss Chapel Roan. I mean Chapel. That was so fierce, and it's iconic. I wonder when the special was filmed, because I wonder if it was any time before Chapel really exploded or really got burnt out, honestly. Who knows? I feel like they filmed these types of things in the summers. So Chapel was probably like skyrocketing, gaining all this momentum. And they do a fierce duet of Last Christmas, which I know they say are the most iconic song for Chapel Roan. And her diva energy was just so fierce, and it's just so cool to have a moment of these two together because they have had such an insane year. And I feel like their voices went well together. They're both kind of vocalist type ladies. Like, the conversation is always about Chapel, Sabrina, Charlie. They're kind of like the Powerpuff Girls of pop music this year or whatever. But I can't picture Charlie being on a Christmas special, like, at all. So it was awesome to have this Chapel Sabrina moment, and they were just wearing these like velvety numbers, and the set was like a trash Christmas party karaoke. It was a vibe, and Chapel has such diva energy, and her voice on such an iconic song. The only crime and misstep of this whole special is that, like, all of these new songs and new duets and covers are not on streaming. Maybe I just can't find it, or maybe it's a Spotify thing, but I could not find these songs. And the special released already like 2 days ago when I'm recording this. Where is the album or the extended EP of Fruitcake with the new covers, the new comedy songs? People would be playing that shit nonstop right now this season. Like, there's no time to waste in the Christmas season. Come on. That's the only misstep I found in this special. So musically, Sabrina had her Christmas original. She had the covers with the musical guests, and then she had some comedy songs, and one is the intro song, which is just brilliant. It's a variation on "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year," and she changes it to "It's the Most Nonsense Time of the Year." It talks about how it's the ho-ho-hoiest special of all. She's just really honed in on who she is as an artist, and I gotta commend the writers on the Christmas special, along with her, on making a great intro that really told us what we were about to be in store for. And like, it's so funny when she says people do music Christmas specials, people do comedy Christmas specials, people have celebrity guests, but has anyone done all of this in a Christmas special? And she's like, yes they have. So she had the intro song, which you can see in full, even if you don't have Netflix, whatever, on her Instagram. She posted a reel of the whole intro song. And it gets kind of meta too. It talks about like, I'm on Netflix's dime. They said it would test well. And she like throws something at the set. And this was part of the more modern aspect of this Christmas special, is that it did have behind the scenes, peek behind the curtain moments throughout the whole special, and I feel like it's foreshadowed in that intro song. And then the other comedy song was kind of like a hip-hop version of, well, it wasn't a version of any song that I could tell, but it was a hip-hop song about not knowing what to get your brother-in-law as a gift, who's just like a random guy and you don't know what he does or his interests. Kyle Mooney plays the brother-in-law, and that could not be more perfect casting. Like, if you're casting an awkward man, Kyle Mooney is your guy. And then there was another sketch that was a funny plot line about her dating Santa Claus and being in denial about it, and her friends are like, girl, you're dating Santa Claus. And she's like, no, I'm not. Obviously she is, and Santa Claus is played by Sean Astin, which I thought that was so random. And her friends are played by Meg Stalter, who, oh my god, I'm obsessed with Meg Stalter. I was so glad to see her here. She's just so hilarious on Hacks, one of my favorite shows currently running. And then the other friend is Owen Teal. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but I'm actually a big fan of him too. And that's mostly started from his standout performance in Zoe 102, if you can believe it. But I've seen him a lot like in the comedy world. So I feel like the sketches are very funny. I mean, Sabrina has great comedic timing, and she also did kind of a lot of referencing or self-referencing of herself as well. There's one point where she's like, what is this, Mean Girls the musical? And that's a cute self-nod to when she played Katie Heron on Broadway. I get sad thinking about what could have been with Mean Girls the musical, the movie, if she had just been cast as Katie. Maybe it was on her end that the schedule didn't align or something, but like, that would have been so good. Imagine her opposite Renee Rapp. That's how it was supposed to be on freaking Broadway. And another reference that I love, which was in the bloopers, I feel like a lot of you girls my age clocked it, but it was when Owen Teal gave his nonsense pitch and said, "Don my gay apparel." And she quoted the iconic Hilary Duff anti-saying gay as a slur PSA from the 2000s. When you say gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
And I can tell she's a real one because she misquoted it a bit, like she paraphrased it, and that tells me that it was not a written line and that she improv that and that she is just a fan and gets it. And that's also relatable because I feel like anytime I try to quote one of my favorite things, I end up misquoting it slightly and sounding like not a real fan. So I think she's a real one for that. I mean, she dressed up as Lizzie McGuire for Halloween, so we know she gets it. Also, a recurring bit through the Christmas special was the celebrity guests pitching nonsense outros to her. So that is like a funny way to self-reference something she is famous for doing. She always kind of switches up her outro to nonsense. Not on this tour actually, but on the previous tour that I was lucky enough to attend last year. So every celebrity guest was like trying to pitch her a nonsense outro that was Christmassy. Another thing I love about this Christmas special is that it showcases Sabrina's acting chops, which she has had for a while, and it's actually the part of her career I'm more of a fan of. I first got introduced to her on Girl Meets World when she was a literal baby, so I love that this gave her some chances to flex her acting. She was great in that, and her humor within the acting and the characters she was playing, because she was playing Sabrina in some of the parts, but there were some sketches where she was playing like a totally different character. The ghosting sketch was one of my favorites with Quinta Brunson as a guest. How iconic. And they were doing a sketch about ghosts of ghosted past and present and future. You get what I mean. It was like girls that this fuck boy guy was gonna ghost, or had ghosted, or is ghosting currently. And the guy was played by Nico Hiraga. I am a fan of his as well. He has been in some comedies. He was like in Booksmart. He was in a Netflix movie called Moxie. He's been in a lot of these movies that are kind of like teen rom-com, I would call them. He's mostly played a side character, but recently he was starring in a movie on Max called Sweethearts. That is like a Thanksgiving themed movie about two friends that go to college and during Thanksgiving break realize they want to break up with their high school sweethearts when they're visiting back home. And it's a really funny kind of Booksmart vibes if you liked that movie. He's starring in it and he did great, and he's opposite Kiernan Shipka. And also Caleb Heron is there, and he was fierce. He was so funny in that movie. I loved him. I wish he had been the protagonist because I was more invested in his storyline, to be honest. And then Cara Delevingne, that, I don't know how hip that choice was, but she stays being relevant somehow in Hollywood. And she was the ghosted future and dressed like Coachella, but like Coachella 10 years ago. I didn't get the Cara part. Though I don't hate her as much as like I feel like the internet hates her sometimes. She can be kind of cringe, I guess. But I guess that was Sabrina paying tribute to millennials. I don't know. But Sabrina stays showing us her acting. Like, she was not in Tall Girl and Work It and Girl Meets World for nothing. And I really want her to try more adult roles, like adult rom-com, lighthearted roles, because she could carry a rom-com now with the current fame she has. I know she's a musician and all, but like, she could be like J-Lo. J-Lo has a music career and a rom-com career, and she somehow figured out how to do it. So I would love more. I feel like also these sketches were kind of Sabrina auditioning for SNL. I bet she's already like lined up and I'm not aware, because I don't really keep track that hard of the SNL who's gonna be on SNL. But these skits are a great audition for SNL if she hasn't been on there. If she has been, never mind. And finally, I just want to talk about Sabrina's genius in her branding. It feels very, very honed in, like I've mentioned throughout this, into this pin-up-y but still modern, girly and vintage. Also horny, using sexual innuendos without going too trashy with it. And I feel like that is able to translate like to the set, for example. The set was very vintagey, like the kitchen set. She does like a little baking segment. It feels very in line with the brand she's already been cultivating for the last couple of years, honestly. Well, for the last 10 years that she's had a career, but I feel like the last tour was also very pin-up-y, a lot of sweetheart, heart imagery everywhere, pink. And so I feel like this year and this era, she's kind of been redoing her last era, but with unlimited budget, or just like expanding on it, evolving it into whatever vision her and her team had for it. And I feel like her brand translates so well to Christmas, because Christmas specials to me feel very vintage coded. And so I feel like her brand and Christmas special were such a natural choice. I just love how her brand is so defined, but also allows for a lot of range. It's not like she's just a pop star that always wears purple and that's her thing, which is silly of me to say as the person who just makes pink my whole brand and personality. But it's so clear, like from her hair to her outfits to the set to the shoes to the content, everything aligns into this like vintage, girly, pin-up aesthetic. And it was cool to see throughout the Christmas special how she was able to take this brand and then casual it down for the more casual skits where she would just be wearing like a little skirt and a sweater, but it was still aligned with her branding. And there was some like mid-level formal parts of the special, like the ghosted sketch where it was like a cute dress. She keeps that silhouette consistent. And then of course there's the super glamorous performance outfits that are all bedazzled, and those are what she's most known for and seen in. And then also translating that style into Christmas, like in the intro, the outfit she's wearing is super on brand for her, but it's Christmas Santa-fied. Just genius all around. This is a perfect career move for her. Props to her team, props to the writers. And yeah, I think the part that made it most modern for me was showing these behind the scenes little parts of the guests interacting with Sabrina and having fun and saying hi to the camera and saying like, look how cute the set is. There was a lot of acknowledgement of the production of it. Even in the intro, she's going kind of backstage and through the back of the studio and going into the studio with the live studio audience. I think people now really care about the behind the scenes of things. So I was really glad they kept the classic like sketches and campy like, and I'm dating Santa Claus, the in character moments. But then they would show a clip of her and Meg Stalter, and honestly, Meg Stalter's blooper was like literally the funniest. She was trying to do a nonsense outro, but not rhyming it at all. I love her so much. So yeah, I mean, including bloopers at the end, I think that's genius to make people feel like they're in on it, and not just make it kind of like a super polished, taking itself too seriously Christmas special. Also, the draw of all of these guests is that they're celebrities we care about. Like seeing Chappell Roan laugh about how straight she looks in this outfit is hilarious, and we want to know. We want to know what it was like to be with these guests. I just think we know so much about how things are made in Hollywood. We watch so many YouTube behind the scenes things. I mean, maybe speak for yourself. It's like what I do in my spare time, but I think it's smart to make that part of the special and not make it like a bonus thing you have to seek out later. I don't know. I just wanted to chat about that and wish y'all a happy holiday season if you celebrate. It got me in the Christmas spirit, and if you are looking for something to play in the background while you put up the tree, I guess most people have their tree up that have a tree. I just put mine up like yesterday. I recommend this one. If you're having a little Christmas party, put it on in the background. It's super cute. Let me know what you thought of Sabrina Carpenter's Nonsense Christmas, or if you have other pop stars that you would enjoy seeing a Christmas special from, or celebrities in general, artists, comedians. There's a lot of people with Christmas specials. The only one I've seen in modern times is the Jinx and Ben de la Creme drag Christmas special, which is super cool. But yeah, I'm hoping this opens the door for more specials. I would love a Halloween special from somebody. There's all kinds of things that can be done. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I put out new videos whenever I feel like it about TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things. And you can follow me at Miscellaneous to keep up with me, or just turn on the bell notification here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!